The best salesman, I think, out there, for better or worse, is Donald Trump.
Okay, no doubt.
I have never seen anybody, I've never met anyone like Trump. And I've known him a long time, good, bad, friendly, not friendly. You know, we fall in and out all the time. But you cannot deny that the showmanship, the energy, the competitive streak he has, but ultimately the salesmanship. He is able to crystallize messaging and deliver it in a way that mass numbers of people can understand, relate to, and support in a way I haven't seen in any political figure for a long time.
So I think that yes, it's true, but he's also an amazing marketer and promoter.
Well, isn't marketing and salesmanship similar?
There are two sides of the same coin. Marketing is sort of like bringing someone to the next step in the process, right? Selling is actually closing the deal. If you look at Donald Trump, I'll tell you one thing he has that I've never seen, an uncanny sense of what the average person needs to hear.
Yes.
And it's unbelievable. You know, very big themes, very simple themes, repeating them again and again.
That's
and again.
the trick.
And he must be the most resilient person I've ever met in my entire life.
Well, I would say he's the most thin-skinned. Well, he'll react to everything.
And resilient.
And thick-skinned.
Yeah, exactly.
His skin is double-pronged. The thinnest and the thickest of anything I've ever seen in my life. It's incredible. He soaks up stuff that would kill off any other public figure. Time and again.
I thought when the whole thing with the whole thing with I touched. I thought that was...
Everybody did.
I thought he was done.
Yeah.
And I was baffled when he didn't even apologize, and I watched his numbers go up, right?
He never apologizes.
So,
and actually, there's a strength in that. I mean, I've demanded he apologize sometimes, but when I see people who do apologize, it very rarely does anything but make their situation worse.
Yeah.
Unless they sincerely are sorry, right? And they've done something which is clearly completely wrong. No, if you were with Trump now, you'd say that what he said about that was just locker room talk, and he would mean that.
Well, here's the thing, though, with Trump, though, he was a great president. Forget the Twitter posts. Okay, I get that. You might not like his style of communication, but look at the world as it was when he was president, and look at the world today. I mean, you know, there were no wars. The economy was roaring. Inflation was low. He got killed by COVID, so to speak, and the mainstream media and this whole... I mean, he went through this whole Russian collusion nonsense, right? But the country...
Trump's biggest problem is this.
Yes, he gets himself in trouble.
The biggest problem, but that's also his greatest asset. You know, I remember talking to him when he was elected the first time, and he said, my team want me to give up Twitter. What do you think? I went, why would you? It just got you elected.
Right.
And all right, so I'm partly to blame for carrying on. But actually, you know, it was that unfiltered. Our show's called Uncensored. It was that unfiltered, uncensored style he had, which cut through all the normal Washington speak.
People are smarter than many politicians give them credit for. And Trump, you can hate him, but he speaks a lot of truth about these important issues that matter to the average person.
His gut about things like... I saw Jamie Dimon defending him.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's not because he's a massive Trump supporter. In fact, he's financially supported Democrats far more than Republicans. But he made the point that if you just attack all his supporters as crazy...
Right, 75 million people.
Deplorables and so on, you're missing the point of why they vote for him. They're not voting for him because they love his tweeting or because they like his personal issues or whatever. They're supporting him because they think his gut feel for things like not going to war, for things like the economy, the tax reforms he brought in, the reform of NATO, which they're now all paying their dues, all that kind of stuff, you know, it actually was very effective.
Yeah.
I think if it hadn't been for COVID, he'd have been re-elected quite comfortably.
And also was a huge miss in the way the Republicans viewed mail-in voting. In other words, the mail-in ballots, right? They shunned it, said, oh, no, go down and vote on Election Day. And the Democrats embraced it. And, you know, you had 30 days of voting versus 1 day of voting on the Republican side. So it was a huge miss in tactics as well. But, yeah, you're right. If it wasn't for COVID, he most certainly would have been